Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Uh, Welcome to this webinar on income tax investments declaration on the payroll portal. My name is CA Pranav Ozarde. I'm working as the finance manager at Remunance. So I'm very happy that I'm getting this chance to interact with all of you. So yes, as we are into April, the new financial year has begun. So I would like to wish all of you a very happy new financial year, which is 2023-24. This begins from 1st April 2023, and the financial year will end on 31st March 2024. So yes, this is going to be a fantastic new financial year. Um, yes, it looks very positive from the Remunance's point of view also. And yes, we are going to grow. And we are talking about money. We're talking about income here. So yeah, wishing all of us the best for this financial year and the performance in this financial year. So now the time is to declare income tax investments on the payroll portal, based on which, of course, the TDS will be done right from the April salary. So this is a very important topic for today. Uh, Now, this webinar will be divided in two parts. First is the changes for this financial year as compared to the last financial year. And we'll be also discussing in detail how to submit the declaration on payroll portal, because some of you might be uh, submitting it for the first time. So it's very important to understand what are the steps involved in submitting the declaration on payroll portal. So yeah, before we begin, I would like to tell you that there are basically two tax regimes now, old tax regime and new tax regime, as you must be knowing. And till the last financial year, uh, the old tax regime was default. So you had to choose the new tax regime. But now the new tax regime is default. So if you don't do anything, if you don't make the other selection, then for the income tax return purpose, the calculation will be as per the new tax regime. So when you finally go to file your income tax return next year in the month of July in 24, the default setting will be on the income tax portal. It will be new tax regime. So that please be careful about that. If you don't do the selection or change, then it is new tax regime. Also, just a point of advice here. While declaring your investments, please don't feel that, oh, let me declare very high amounts this time in the beginning so that my TDS will be very less from my salary and I will get more net salary. Please don't do that. Please declare your investments on a realistic basis as per your real plan, what you're going to actually invest, because otherwise if you fall short on your investments in a for a big amount, then maybe in February and March there will be very little salary that you will suddenly get in hand. Okay, so please don't over declare your investments. That's very important. Be realistic while declaring your investments. Also, for those colleagues who have multiple employments, uh, who will have multiple employments, please be careful, because if there is no TDS in the financial year, then at the end of the year when you file the return, and if you don't have any TDS, then you will have to pay income tax plus interest uh, at the time of filing your income tax return. So these are the two cautions that I wanted to share with you. So let's begin our discussion. So let's first look at what are the changes, you know, as compared to the last financial year. Okay. So yeah, as we discussed, this new regime, which is also called as alternative tax regime, is the default tax regime. What is the meaning of default? It is until it is changed, that is assumed that you are opting for the new regime. This is for the income tax purpose. Remember, this is not, we are talking not talking about the portal. This is for the income tax return purpose. This will be your assumed tax regime. So when you go and file your return next year in 24 July, at that time, you will have to select. If you want to go for old, you have to go and specifically select the old tax regime. Okay. So please remember that. Yeah. So one has to opt for old regime while filing your IT return. Now, every financial year, on a financial year to year basis, you can change your tax regime. So in one year, you can opt for new, then you can change it to old, again come back to new. So that is from financial year to financial year, that facility or that option is available. That is also while filing your income tax return. Now, talking about the investment declaration in payroll portal, before beginning to before finalizing your declaration, you will have to select your suitable regime. So how to select that? It depends on your tax liability, tax amount, right? No one will want to pay more tax. Everyone wants to pay as much less as possible, right? So saving on tax. So tax saving and that kind of tax planning is required. So uh, we will see in the next slides how the payroll portal is going to support you in doing that, in making that decision. Okay. So yeah, so you have to select your regime in this month, April, and declare your investments. Of course, in the new regime, there is no need to declare anything, but you first declare, you first fill up the investments, and then there is a facility to compare both the regimes. So we'll see that. So the timeline, as we are discussing this month, April, for Remunance employees, the timeline is 26th April. So that's when we are going to freeze the declaration and regime selection for the month of April. So regime will be free frozen for the entire financial year, and the amounts of investments for the old regime will be frozen for April month and again opened for May for changing your amounts for the old regime. Okay, so that is the timeline. You should take note of that. 26th April. Yeah, after selection, once you select the regime, depending on the suitable, uh, I mean, where it is the lesser tax, and you select it, you submit your declaration, then that regime will be final. But you can change it. If in payroll portal you have old regime, but at the time of filing your return next year, you feel that new regime is beneficial now. I I did some wrong calculation, but that option is available with you only at the time of filing your income tax return. Please remember that. Not in the payroll portal, but while filing your income tax return. Okay. Yeah, just to give an idea, under this regime, any salaried person who has gross taxable salary up to 7.5 lakhs, so there is no tax for that person. Why? Because there is a standard deduction from salary. The amount of salary, that is 50,000, is the deduction. So it comes down from 7,50,000 to 7 lakh. And then when we calculate the tax as per the new regime on 7 lakh, the entire amount, 25,000, is deducted as a tax rebate. Tax concession is given for people who have taxable income up to 7 lakh. So after your deduction of 50,000, it comes to 7 lakh. And up to that amount, if your income is up to 7 lakh, then you can get a rebate of maximum 25,000. So for 7 lakh, it is 25,000. For a lesser amount, there will be a lesser rebate, but the tax will be 0. So for your information, any income from salary, gross income of 7 lakh 50,000 before deduction of 50,000, there is no tax. So, as a suggestion from my side, I would say, on a rough estimate basis, people who have their salaries between 5.5 to 6.5 lakhs, of course, they will have some bonuses coming up, performance bonuses. They might have some other income like some rent from their properties, or they might have interest income. So for people within that range, new tax regime is beneficial. This is a rough idea I'm giving, and for persons above 6.5 7 lakhs, for them, if they have investments, tax investments, then the new tax regime may not be beneficial. So one has to make that decision. So I hope the default nature is clear. Default is like it has to be changed from new to old. Otherwise, it is new for income tax return point of view. And the rebate is the concession in the tax. Rebate is the concession in the tax amount, not in the income, but in the tax amount. So yeah, I hope these points are clear. Of course, we'll have some question answer session if the time permits at the end of this session in the last few minutes. So let's see. Yes, so we are interested in the slabs, right? So these are the slabs on the left-hand side, new tax regime for this year, starting from 1st of April. These are the 3 lakh differential slabs. Every slab is increasing after 3 lakhs. So these are the rates, 5%, 10%, 15%, like that. Earlier, it was 2.5 lakhs interval. So you can see in the middle, it was for last year. Of course, we don't need to refer that now, but that's just for information, how it was structured last year. And on the right-hand side, we have the old tax regime. So that is the same as last year. These are the 3 rates, 5%, 20%, and 30%. Now talking about the cess, health and education cess, this is 4% on your tax plus surcharge. So 4% on your tax. Okay, so 4% is the cess. Now to whom surcharge is applicable? For those who have net taxable salary income above 50 lakhs. So only for those surcharge is applicable. So I have given the rates of surcharge, and surcharge is also on the tax. Okay, so 10% of tax, 15% of tax, or 25% of tax, depending on your income level above 50 lakhs. And then cess will be on income tax plus surcharge. That amount you will calculate, you will add income tax plus surcharge, and on that total, 4% will be charged as a cess. Okay, so this is of course surcharge is of course for a higher slab category, higher income category. So that is for your information. Then yeah, this is also very important. Now, when you opt for new tax regime, then please remember, no deductions are available for new tax regime. So whatever investments you are continuing, you have been doing, you plan to do, or exemptions you received up to last financial year, once you move into the new tax regime, these exemptions or deductions are not available to you at all. Okay, there is no amount, there is no minimum, maximum. This is totally not available under the new tax regime. So what are those exemptions? You must be familiar with leave travel allowance, right? Then house rent allowance, then coupons, food coupons you must be receiving, right? All these are not going to be deducted now. Okay, no benefit of this from tax point of view. Professional tax, even the professional tax of in Maharashtra it is 2,500 per year. Even that is not going to be allowed as a deduction under the new regime. Okay, even the interest you're losing this facility or this benefit of interest on housing loan. Okay, so for the self-occupied properties, even this will not be allowed under the new regime. Uh, Principal, of course, it will not be. It is falling under 80C, principal payment of housing loan. That is also not allowed under the new regime. So 80C to 80U, you must be familiar with these investments like LIC, tuition fees of kids. Then, as we discussed, principal repayment of housing loan. Then we have Mediclaim under 80D. We have 80G, which is donations, right? So we have so many deductions in Chapter 6A, it is called, but all of them are just not available anymore in the new tax regime. And just a thought that government is trying to make this as a default tax regime in the future. So maybe phase wise, the old tax regime may not be available. So that's just a thought, just my personal opinion. So new tax regime is what they are promoting as much as possible. And it is, yeah, it is beneficial for some of the people as we discussed. Please remember, if your investments are eligible investments or deductions are more than 3 lakhs, please remember this as a rough estimate. If your investments or allowed deductions are going to be more than 3 lakhs, then the old tax regime will be beneficial. As a rough idea I'm giving, if it is below 3 lakh, your investments or deductions you are trying to get, then the new tax regime will be beneficial. So 3 lakh, there is a uh, there's a limit kind of a break-even point. And then for people with income, salary income more than 15 lakhs, 15, for them, of course, the old tax regime is suitable. New tax regime will not help for people above having income above 15 lakhs because, of course, they will have their good amount of investments, right? People earning more than 15 lakhs. So for them also, new tax regime doesn't make much sense in order to save tax. Okay, so this is very important to remember. These calculations will not be relevant. All these type of payments for new tax regime. Okay, now coming to how to declare on the portal. So I hope all of you have your login ID, especially those who have joined recently or those who uh, didn't have to declare any investment last year. Maybe there were few people, few colleagues like that. So for them, this is very important. Now I'm showing this screen of a person who didn't have any declaration last year, last financial year. So after logging in, you have to go to the investments menu. The financial year will be shown as 2023-24, which is the current, which began from 1st April 2023. And then you will have to click on declare investments, right? We are currently only in the stage of declaring investments, not in the stage of submitting proof of investments. Please remember that. So this is just declaring, just planning the amounts of your investments. Okay, don't worry about the proofs right now. They are important, of course. They are important because without them you won't be allowed the investments. But yes, that will come in the later part, maybe in the February month only, when we will open it for adding the documents of proofs. Okay, so right now declaring investments, and then we go to the screen of new investment declaration. This is all for I'm showing for those who haven't declared in the last year. Okay, and we'll come to the next part later. So on this screen, as you can see, there are so many options depending on your type of payments or in case of your house property, etc. So yeah, this is very user friendly. Yeah, and one more important point I want to share is on the payroll portal, you have a help document available. Okay, so on the screen, there will be a link to help document which you can use. So here in the investment declaration, you can just go on entering your amounts that you plan and of your investments. And then at the bottom, there are two options. One is to save. Save means draft. Okay, please remember, just saving means it goes into draft. And then saving and comparing. You can compare both the regimes, old and new, just to get an idea which one is suitable for you. Okay, so once you click on save, it is uh, in the draft mode, just like this. Uh, you can see the status is draft right now, and it will show the different investments that you have declared. This is a test user ID, test ID. So these are the random amounts, sample amounts. Yes. So this is the draft status. Once you just save, okay. And then if you select to save and compare, then this screen will appear where there is a comparison directly in the tax. You can see how much tax is under the old regime and how much is under the new regime. It is very much clearly visible here that the new tax regime is beneficial, right? And you have to just click on that box, old tax regime and new tax regime, and you will see the calculation. So here it is showing the calculation of old tax regime. There are different deductions which are allowed as per the investment. And at the bottom of that screen, it will also show per month TDS, per month tax, and then you can submit if you want to go for old regime. And then on the right hand side, just now I showed you at the top, there is a new tax regime amount. If you click on that, it will show the calculation of new tax regime. There are no deductions available in new tax regime for your investments, only the standard deduction, which we discussed a few minutes ago, which is 50,000. That's it. And then your tax will be calculated. So how much is the tax here? It is 13,477 per month. At the bottom, you can see per month it is 13,477. So if this is beneficial, then it can be submitted as under the new tax regime. So that's the selection. This we are talking about the new employees or those who haven't submitted declaration last year. Now, what about those who have declared last year? The good part is all those amounts will be copied to this year. So I'll show here. So this is a login of a user who had submitted investments declaration last year also. Okay, so that's why it is showing status as declared. It is not draft, it is declared. Okay, and the amounts are already captured from the last year's declaration. Okay, the regime is showing as old, and on the right hand side you can see edit declaration, right? So you can edit this. You must edit this because now these are the old amounts, and now you want to enter the amounts for this year, right? So even though the status is declared, you are going to first edit the declaration and make your input of amounts. Okay. This is how it will look for the employees who are continuing from last year, who had submitted declaration last year. And then after edit declaration, you will come to this screen where there is an option to edit all these amounts, all these fields. You can change those. Regime is also shown at the top. So this is of course this is available only in old tax regime, right? We know investments are declaration is applicable to the old tax regime. Under the new, there is no need to declare any amounts. Yeah, here you can enter your other details. At the bottom, you can save and submit. Before that, you can also compute your tax to compare with the new and old tax regime. So that facility is there. And I would again reiterate that there is a help document on the right hand side top of portal, which you can use. Yes, we are going to activate the edit declaration. So today it will be activated. Our payroll team is going to activate after this session, and then you will be getting the you will be able to edit the declaration. Yes, it will be allowed from today until 26th. Please remember the timeline from today to 26th. And this similar session we are going to conduct tomorrow also at the same time at 3 o'clock. So yes, those who have missed, they can join tomorrow. Okay, so these are the steps. And please remember, unless you submit and you get the status as submitted, uh, this will not be considered. It will be still in draft mode. Okay, so submission is very important. Otherwise, there are questions that I have filled up everything. What happened? Why those amounts are not considered for TDS? Have you submitted it? That's very important. You have to submit your declaration. Please make sure of that. Yeah, this is just the last page. Please go through this. A disclaimer. So one has to make a suitable choice of tax regime. Do his own study also. Get the information, and this is based on our understanding and to support you basically to declare your investments. Yeah, we'll take some questions. We have some time, so if we opt for, there's a question from Jayesh. Um, if we opt for voluntary PF, will the tax be calculated after deduction of PF? Will it be part of ATC? Now, this is voluntary PF. PF contribution comes under exemptions, remember. So, this is coming under exemptions, and this will be available under the old tax regime. So, all the exemptions, these are available under the old tax regime. So, we will again look at the calculation, and yes, so uh, Jayesh, if you could give us the details of your contribution amount on payroll at remunance.com, we'll be able to see which one is beneficial for you. So regarding your individual queries, if you have the amounts with you and you want to check, then it is best to write an email to payroll at remunance.com. Yeah, parental house taken as rent. So this is again related to HRA reduction. So yeah, this is available only under old tax regime. And maybe Asmita, are you on the call?
Yes, Pranav.
Yeah, would you like to answer this one regarding rent from parental house?
If an employee has the rent receipts and proper rent agreement, and if it is a registered rent agreement, and he submits the rent receipts with the 1 rupee revenue stamp attached to it, we can consider it. Also, if the rent paid amount is above 8,000 rupees, that is 1 lakh rupees per annum, then he needs to submit the PAN card copy of the landlord. May it be,
Okay.
if he is claiming it from his parents and
Yeah.
all those things.
So
Yeah.
this is allowed. Basically, you
Yeah.
can claim
For
under the
it
old
is under,
tax regime.
yeah, correct. It can be considered under old tax regime.
Yeah. Yes, PAN card
Uh,
will be required, and
uh,
26.
uh, uh, Only PAN card and rent receipts will not suffice. We need the rent agreement as well. As it is. It.
Okay. Yeah, I think yeah, rent agreement will be required. I think yeah, we are covered for today. And thank you so much. And you can always write to payroll if you have any queries. Thank you. Thank you so much.